Hey all, welcome back to Skate 3. I'm Insetic, with me again is Blank Tester,
Hey kids, how's it going?
Matt Rocks 101,
Hey, I'm Matt.
and Turo.
Hey, ya.
And so this is what it looks like when you just kind of start the game up, once you've got your career mode going. Again, as part of trying to be way more multiplayer connected and such, there's a, skate feed, where I'm sure when the game was back in its heyday, was updated regularly with, regular stuff. It's kind of odd, like, how much online ability is still active at the moment and how much is not.
Yeah.
Because, like, a good amount of this, like, skate feed stuff and, like, creating your own logo online and exporting it to your character and team, etc. is turned off, but I think you could still, like, play with people.
You can still play online and upload and share custom parks. I know you can do that. I don't know about like custom videos and photos and stuff. I think that's still up. But other than
but
that,
like the skate feed doesn't really change nowadays. I mean, because it's like 12 years later, so all that stuff is locked in. And you could turn off having that show up at the start, and so then when you boot your game up, you just go straight in.
I must have turned that off then. I don't remember seeing that.
We're going back into the custom skate park one because there's still a bunch more tutorials here, and this is again a major part of the game, or at least a major part of the customization and online. I mean, it's like building your own maps back in Halo 3 and Reach and other games that have things like that. The only games I've ever played in my life are Halo 3 and Reach. So, no, but so this will show off more of what you could do. I mean, it is pretty in depth with how much you can customize and like group together and move around and such.
Yeah.
So it's worth going through and showing.
Speaking of games that had like custom map makers that you like wouldn't think about, do you remember that Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 3 had custom map makers in it?
Oh yeah.
That was
I didn't know
so
that.
bizarre to think back to.
What were those like then?
Well, they were on all consoles, and it was really clunky on PS3. I think PC had more. But because they were meant to be multiplayer maps, like you'd make your own multiplayer map, but because you could spawn in like any entity you want, what I remember seeing a lot of was challenge drive maps, where they'd have you like drive a course, and they would like be like looped, or not loop-de-loops, but like sick jumps and everything, because you could spawn the drivable car. Like
I
all
didn't
of them.
even realize Far Cry 2 and 3 had multiplayer.
Yeah, they did. I remember playing a lot of Far Cry 2's multiplayer. It was and playing on the custom maps was like one of the most fun parts of it, honestly.
Those are weird games.
They really are. Like, they had so much stuff in it that you're like, I don't know why this is in this game.
Yeah, like there are so many disconnected ideas. I'm seeing the word connect, and that's why I thought. But
Yeah.
so many unconnected ideas that are like, oh yeah, we're gonna have realistic fire simulation, but also multiplayer, and it's a single player game about your character doing this, and it's like none of these
And the
relate to each
multiplayer
other at
is
all,
like a
but we're just gonna throw them all together.
Call of Duty, like, ripoff, if I remember correctly. Like,
it's like weird.
Well, you had to unlock stuff. And I remember there was also so many game modes. There was like Capture the Flag and like the Search and Destroy one. Like, there was all kinds of game modes and the multiplayer for that as well. It was kind of insane.
Oh, you can rotate that way too.
Yeah, I
Weird.
was just looking at that,
You got full access.
Yeah, so I mean, these
Rotation.
tutorials are really nice because, well, it literally talks you through every single thing you have to do, which I'm glad for because there's a lot of reusing of the same buttons, but maybe, hitting
New
multiple
combinations.
buttons to do a new thing. And so it's like, if I went into the skate park, now after having gone through this tutorial to try and build it, I'd forget like 90% of the shit. Like, oh, what does hitting left bumper and B do again? What does, hitting left trigger and A do again? I mean, it's again pretty cool, and they'll go into it. I mean, you saw from the Funbox one that, you can, certain pieces you can put into the ground further or not, so it's not like a piece has to be entirely out in the open, which, again, like Halo 3 to Reach, where they really, in Reach's Forge editor, they leaned into, like, oh yeah, you could stick pieces in other pieces to get as much of it, showing as you want, or whatever, rather than Halo 3, where they really hadn't thought of that yet.
Yeah, no. In Halo 3, there was no clipping, like no phasing objects. There was no what's it called, like snapping objects to each other or snapping them to a grid. it was all just like, oh, there was nothing could be floating in the air either. It was all like everything has to be physics, and then we bake it, and then you're done. And it's like, jeez.
I remember like major glitches that got found like a year or two into Halo 3's lifetime, where you could, people did find a way to do some of that, putting objects into other ones and such.
Yeah,
and
mostly with overloading the map.
And then that just turned into something you could do in Reach.
Yeah.
I mean, which again made it so much more just like, personal, customizable.
I kind of feel weird about the way that Forge has gone from like 3 and on, because it's like 3 had like a very primitive form of Forge, and then Reach had like a bigger one, and then 343 had the job of making a new one. So they were like, oh, Halo 4, we're gonna make. Well, I don't even remember what Halo 4's Forge was like, but they had to at least meet the bar of Reach. And I remember Halo 5 was like the most intense Forge that could possibly be made, and now Infinite is expected to have an even more advanced one, and it's like, where do you stop? When do we just say, like, you don't have to put that much effort into this? Like,
you just gotta give everyone the devs tools.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the next logical step, or they're gonna try to find some halfway point between what they've got and the dev tools, and that's gonna be a shitload of work for them, and then people will be disappointed that the game doesn't come out complete.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if we're talking about Skate 4, what are they gonna do for that? This custom park thing was such a big part of Skate 3 that, they have to do sort of something here. But yeah, like, I mean, this already came pretty well designed. You can group objects together, copy and paste everything you've grouped together, at once.
That is really good, yeah.
Oh man,
you can even adjust the color and texture of the half pipe.
So yeah, like, you hold A for longer than you just normally press it to start a group, and then you could tell from the crosshair, da-da-da. Like, my old stupid brain has already, like...
You're lost.
Tuned out. I mean, there was I think Shingo said there in the previous tutorial, like, isn't it always better to make it yourself? And as a kid... Maybe I'd have said yes, but honestly now, my answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess around with this. Again, I kind of like taking the worlds that have been professionally made for me and seeing what I can do in those, rather than fretting and sweating for hours and hours to think, like, what would I find fun maybe right now with these pieces?
Yeah.
It's like an essay. It's like an essay where the whole thing was you get to make the topic and whatever. I hated those in school.
Oh my god, yeah.
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 I like having some limits and boundaries.
I'm just gonna say, maybe that's where we are now, but think about there's probably some kid out there who got into
I've seen videos of people's custom parks, and again, people had their own teams, their own online teams, and had their own hangout zones as, these custom areas, because you could get pretty in-depth. I mean, definitely, again, it was a good decision because a good amount of the market can do good things with it. Just because I'm old, depressed, and uncreative.
Actually, that's what I was going to say. It's not just about being old and uncreative, it's also the fact that, like, there's a huge number of people who would prefer a more curated experience rather than, like, something that they have to build themselves, like a find-your-own fun kind of thing. And, like, that's true in, like, basically every field, right? Like, anytime they give you the option to customize, there's going to be some people who really like that, being able to customize, or, like, choose your own thing. Like, I mean, just think about, like, streaming services, right? Like, some streaming services, like, are like Netflix, where, like, they'll recommend you stuff, and that's really useful to someone like me, who doesn't want to spend an hour flipping through the catalog trying to find something. Versus HBO Max, where I start it up and the very first thing it shows me is Young Sheldon, and I'm like, I don't want to see Young Sheldon. If you had an algorithm to check what I watch, you would know I don't want to see Young Sheldon. But they don't have an algorithm, and so if you like leafing through the whole catalog, and, like, nothing wrong with that. If that's your thing, you choose what you want to watch, go for it, man. It's just like, I don't know, there's two very different mindsets about that. And it's true in games too, map making is cool. It's a really cool feature. I like that they put it in. I'm never gonna use it. Not really.
I wasn't good enough to use it as a kid.
Yeah, I was never good enough.
I wasn't good enough, but I did like playing all the slalom courses, so.
Like, I had dreams of being good at map making in the same way that I have dreams of being good at music. And then, like, if I try making music, I'm garbage at it. Yeah, so it's like, whatever.
Like, oh, I want to make a montage, but like,
Nope.
Yeah.
I have dreams of what would my clips be and how would the edits be, and then and
then it comes to
that's
making it
always
missing.
way too much work. No matter
Turns
what.
out those things are hard.
You know what? Actually, though, you know what?
Yeah.
Actually, I can bring that back. Oh, never mind.
We'll talk about it after the
I'll talk
cutscene.
about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? You're kidding. I've been by there. I've never seen it. All right, how do I get there? Oh, hang on. Sorry, bro. You gotta come with something better than that. That's been done before, man. Kid just backtailed a curve ledge, man. Anyway, so where's that spot? Oh, hey, listen, I gotta go. There's someone here. Yeah, I'll see you in a sec. All right. How you doing? New around here, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, welcome to Port Carverton. I'm what you call a skate ambassador. I know all the tricks that have already been done and all the tricks that have never been done. All right, so if you guys want to know what to try, come and talk to me, okay? Hey, welcome to the Chance Center at Port Carverton University. We'll probably do most of our studying on the outside of this place. Probably won't see too much of the inside. Actually, it's a little-known fact that PJ Ladd is a professor emeritus around here. That's right.
Alright, so here's kind of the major new kind of mission added to the game. You've heard of Own the Spot. Well, this is Own the Lot, where they take, like, an area, like here, the, Chance Center Plaza and such, and give you multiple challenges that are all part of this one Own the Lot activity. And when you do all of them on that list, then you've completed the overall challenge. It's pretty nice, because, yeah, it takes a good grouping of, challenges you come to expect from Skate, like, get X amount of points in this amount of time, or just, hey, hit this rail, hit this gap, hey, hit, a bunch of these rails or gaps or such, and puts them all together into one place, so you really, get to use that place and do, tricks in it and such, and get to see it through a curated activity, rather than just, hey, are you in Freescape? Do you want to play around in this area? So I really like the Own the Lots. The only thing is that, well, for the videos, recording, they're kind of long, and, just going and doing a bunch of individual challenges will get you board sales, faster. So
Yeah.
I want to show them off, but I don't know how much I'll get to incorporate. But yeah, they're pretty cool. The one kind of odd thing, though, is if you do, one of the sub-challenges and then hit, like, A to just continue, you have to run back to the guy, like, run back to the spawn point to continue on with that. So, which I guess is a little bit of just like, oh yeah, you could do this as you go along, but, if you want to just do everything in it, yeah, make sure to hit X or square on PlayStation to go back to this menu and be able to immediately pick the next
Grind session.
Yeah, I guess if that was gonna be if you were looking for a quality of life fix here, I'd say that maybe like a button to pull up the menu quickly.
No, it does. It's just X
again,
instead of A.
I showed, hey, if you hit this one button, you have to run back, but if you hit
No, I
X,
mean like just like even if you hit the button like while you're walking around, if you're in an area, maybe a button press to do that.
Sort of like Tony Hawk with its reach my last goal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just really surprised that he's so down to earth, being that he's like omniscient about tricks.
Yeah, he knows every single one that's been
I
done.
mean, like, it's impressive that he knows everything that has been done. It's way more impressive that he knows everything that hasn't been done, because there's stuff that hasn't even been invented yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
he
think
knows
about
infinite numbers of things that have not been done.
If he is aware of everything that has been done, can this man perceive the 1800s from a standing position?
I think so, yeah.
He knows, because it hasn't been done yet. He knows.
He knows it hasn't been done there, and he knows it has been done elsewhere.
Guys, if there is a god, can he invent a trick so hard that even he can't do it?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
You know what
Whoa.
this reminds me of? It reminds me of, shout out to the old Steel Donut video, the book of monsters that exist and ones that don't.
And ones that don't, Gosh, why did they say and ones that don't?
Yeah, he knows all the tricks that exist and the ones that don't.
Like, it could have just been the
challenge?
Book of Monsters.
It's like those fucking photos of like that one book that's what they teach you, everything they teach you in business school, and the other book titled What They Don't Teach You in Business School.
Yeah.
And in between those two books is the entire sum of human knowledge.
Yeah, between those two, we've got it all.
Yep.
Oh my god.
We should really get the author of each of those books to team up and just write one book.
Yeah. And it's just titled Everything.
Yeah, it's called the Encyclopedia.
Oh.
And now
that's
you
what
know
that-
the rest of the story.
Oh, I get it now. Mm-hmm. And that's why they call it an encyclopedia.
Yep.
Yep.
John Encyclopedia, author of the Encyclopedia.
That's
He
his
knew
name.
everything and then went insane from knowing everything.
Yeah.
Well,
He was
you?
cursed with the curse of knowledge, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was 3 people at first. Adam, Eve, and John Encyclopedia.
John Encyclopedia knew everything and wrote everything down and then went insane and died.
And died.
Yeah, there was
Damn.
they ate from the apple, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and he just ate from the tree of knowledge, bar none, and that was his downfall.
Well, he ate
He
from the
actually-
tree of
he ate
knowledge
the
of
whole
everything
tree.
else, because nothing in the encyclopedia talks about good and evil, so...
That's true.
Yeah, he ate
No
from
judgment.
the tree of
He
everything
took like
else.
every other apple and made an apple pie out of it.
Oh
And
my
ate that.
god!
Yeah.
Wow.
In the process, he invented the apple pie and then died.
Right.
Yeah.
The apple pie was part of the encyclopedia.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, have you had an apple pie? Like a good apple pie is like incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sends you straight to your grave. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It makes you get 3 feet in the grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets you halfway there.
So, like, one kind of mission that you'll also see, usually as part of these Own the Lots, is this sort of thing where you need to complete a certain amount of objectives. And there will always be, 4 objectives shown, and those are the 4 that are active. If you do any of those, then another out of the pool will spawn. But, for example, like, even if you know what some of the later ones are, like, these are the only 4 that can be completed at the moment.
Oh, you're good. You chase him down. You're getting him. Oh
That
my
man just
god,
straight
let's
up
go!
threw a block on you.
Real
Yeah.
quick, was that hall behind you named Connor Hall?
I think it was... I don't...
I'll have
I don't
to check
know.
again.
I think it was ER though. I don't think it was OR.
It was actually AR.
Oh, Connor Hall.
Yeah.
Is it
Still
C-O-N-N?
not the strangest spelling of Connor I've ever seen.
Well, okay, you know the strangest one I've ever seen is CONNORP.
Connorp?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
and I thought that was a guy who I had on PSN back in the day. Shout out. He probably doesn't.
Well,
know
I
watching.
remember when I was working
But-
retail, there was a guy who came in whose first name was Connor, spelled Konr. And he was like, yeah, that's actually how it's spelled. And yes, I always get corn.
No, I don't talk to my parents anymore.
I mean, we didn't bring up his parents.
But yeah, I thought his name was Connor.
I bonded with him a little bit because my name's not, like, the easiest to pronounce, but I think he's got it worse. At least mine means something.
So, okay, yeah, so
killed this woman.
while you're off your board, you can hit right bumper or R1 to smack people?
Yeah,
Yep.
to show them what they're worth.
Why is this a thing in the
I
game?
think it's mostly for multiplayer.
It's both for multiplayer and also if you decide to take the Sith path.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you can
Like-
smack
yeah.
people off their
Like I-
boards in multiplayer.
Yeah, like I understand using, down on the D-pad as basically a way to clear pedestrians out. But yeah, using right bumper to smack people, and like if you're running around and you don't have your board in your hand, it'll do a weird little animation. And honestly, that feature has led to a decent amount of the known glitches. But we'll get into that later. So like if they just didn't include that, they might have avoided a few of the glitches. But yeah, so like Hall of Meat,
Kill
well,
yourself.
Hall of Meat has now become its own kind of thing. It's not
you
the
are
annals
just
of meat.
going to die.
It's not the annals of meat anymore. That's its own kind of side thing. Thrasher Hall of Meat is now a choosable kind of mission from the main career challenge.
We've really gone a long distance from like just this is their sick as bales. Now we're at just throw yourself off a cliff.
Yeah, we do
Just
not want
die.
to kill you. We do not want to kill you. We want you to choose death.
You will just
Right.
die now. Like what is this?
Right, you will get board sales from just dying.
Yep.
in this
Get
thing.
over this. I forgot all about this. Yeah.
And they made quite a few changes to the Hall of Meat system too.
Yeah.
Like the way it controls. Like now, you can do some interesting things with it.
Yeah. It'll get
You
into that
shouldn't
over
bounce
these
like that if all your
generations,
bones are broken.
Well, you're just bouncy.
These bones are made of rubber. Oh my god. Jesus.
And you only hurt your skull on that one, so
Yeah, well,
yeah.
This is one of those
Thank
things
God you
where
didn't
as a kid I
hurt
definitely
any-
thought this was the funniest shit.
Oh my god, yes.
Just
this
the
was,
arm.
This was back when I thought like the concept of like the ragdoll was just the funniest
Yes,
thing in
I
the world.
loved
to be ragdolls. fair, we
Still
all
is.
loved ragdolls.
Yeah.
And we kind of all still do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, that's what BeamNG is. It's just
the
ragdolls for
idea
cars.
that the mission was just throw yourself off a building and die never occurred to me as a kid.
Yeah, well,
It didn't
Well, you
seem
get
ridiculous to me
you
back
recover.
then, but watching it now, it's so funny to
Yeah.
think that he's like, all right, I set up these ramps. Oh, am I gonna land down there? No, you're just gonna fall off and die.
And some kids saw me do that and then went, Mommy, I want to be just like him. Take me down to the board shop so I can buy a Team Incentive board.
Because you got 5,000 board sales from that. How much are these boards selling for?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's not that the kid said, "Mommy, let me get." No, the mom saw the trick and saw you get up afterwards and went, "Oh my lord, that will keep my child safe."
Oh yeah, there you go, yeah.
You know, like I don't want my child to be permanently damaged doing this admittedly slightly dangerous sport. So
The sport is throwing yourself off a cliff with like
Yeah.
no ramp or anything.
yeah, but with Team Incentive merch,
Yeah.
Team
Yeah,
Incentive gear.
Like, I love how just we've come so far from this very real aspect of skateboarding, which is like bailing, and now it's just like
Yeah,
just
that's
throwing yourself off a cliff.
I don't want to be the one who always turns things serious again, but I mean, Skate 3 does have its criticisms of like, oh, now you're going away from being realistic,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm,
like
I'm not complaining. I
all
just think
of
it's
that-
really funny.
I'm saying, but all of the realistic parts of it, again, all of the same flip tricks, all the same physics-based shit. I mean, hardcore mode makes it even more realistic.
Oh, yeah.
You can play like that, and I mean, you can go back to the old camera angle, go back to the having sort of the vignette of the camera, circular camera
Around the corners.
around the diagonals. Yeah, so like just because they've added in more unrealistic stuff, I don't think that ruins the experience at all. You could still play this in a way that is as realistic as like Skate 1 and 2 were, with better quality of life stuff,
Yeah, the only thing I would disagree about that with, and it's maybe a small disagreement in this game, but in other games it's more of a disagreement, is like when game devs add stuff to a game and it's like it's part of the meat of the game, part of the content of the game is engaging with this stuff. So like for example, when I'm playing a game and there's a bunch of missions that I just don't like doing, if it leaves me at 75% progress, that's gonna kind of annoy me, Even if I don't like doing that other 25%, I'll probably trudge through it. Just because, like, I don't like... my dissatisfaction with that event type is less than my dissatisfaction with seeing 75% complete and then putting the game down.
I think I can rationalize why people might have been annoyed, because there is a lot of like hardcore mode and everything else realistic in this game that they've added, but it's also not the focus. These are stuff you just toggle on if you want to play around with it, whereas stuff like throwing yourself off a cliff those are missions that
They sort
have
of
to do if you want to beat the game.
more clearly like split the community. Like they added things to keep the hardcore crowd happy, and then while also making it more, like accessible and fun for people who are
Don't
either
care
not
that much about
either
that
not
stuff.
good or like just don't care about skateboarding and are just
Yeah.
playing like a video game. And
I can
that's overall good that they've managed to actually provide things for both crowds, but it's also they very clearly
it's
created two
divided.
different communities.
Yeah.
And I can see why they'd be upset about it. I don't care. Like I think this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
If I want a hardcore simulation thing, I'll toggle on those modes and play with that.
Yeah.
So a thing added to the wipeout mechanics there shown is that you can hit right trigger to kind of have your body like convulse and really push off. And so like if you get in a cannonball and you can be rolling, you know, you can hit right trigger at the right time and push off and really extend, you know, the life of your bale and where you go during it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's gonna be something they want you to do for some of those, you know, missions and such.
Nice.
Nice.
Our coffee was a little bit jittery too. Maybe they got that special blend down here.
What
Pretty
the
sure
fuck
that's-
did you just do to me?
I'm pretty sure that was Aunt May from Spider-Man.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Tobey
You know,
Maguire
you think this is
Spider-Man.
what happened to Uncle Ben in this universe? He got killed
Yeah.
by like a crazy
Yeah.
skateboarder. And Spider-Man becomes like an anti-skateboarder superhero.
Damn.
Or maybe Uncle Ben jumped off a building without using Team Aesthetic brand.
Because Team Aesthetic hadn't been born yet.
Yeah.
You'd be like, Uncle Ben, what happened?
Hall of meat. A thresher hole of meat.
Sorry, wait a minute. Team Aesthetic hadn't been born yet, so Uncle Ben jumped off the building without any expectation he would have survived.
I think there's a word for that.
There's a word for that. It's slipping my mind. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, no.
Hey man, you know what?
Uncle Ben, what happened?
Uncle Ben was trying to KYS. Keep
Yeah.
yourself safe.
Right.
Yeah.
He was doing it to keep all of us safe. He died.
Uncle Ben died
What
for
are you
our
doing?
sins.
So death races. Yeah, they're still
Kill
here.
it.
I don't even remember they were in this game.
Oh, okay.
Of course they were.
One thing. Okay, so mostly Port Carverton is, you know, like a skateboarding paradise, right? None of that stuff of people not wanting you to skateboard or whatever. The one exception is the cars. The cars will try and run you down harder than they ever did before. Like in Skate 1 and 2, if you pass in front of a car, it'll brake and stop. In Skate 3, if you pass in front of a car, it'll speed
You'll
up.
brake and
like,
stop.
These cars want to run you over. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
They're angry that their community has been run over by skateboarders. And
Even though...
Run over.
Overrun
No,
by
no.
skateboarders.
No, they're
Overrun.
the invading force.
Right.
Oh, that's right. The skateboarders
This
were
is
natural
Port
in this land,
Carverton.
and then they introduced the car into the ecosystem.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's amazing. I actually have to watch out for cars more than I ever did in San Vandalota.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris Aslam was right behind you, and then he bailed, and then he came in last. What a...
Yeah. So death races, yeah, have killed at things where if you do it, you know, crazy fast, you know, it's you'll kill it. That's kind of the one thing where it's
I
like
love this area.
where it's like, you know, the challenge is either a pass or fail, but it does have a killed it thing. Like,
That's cool.
you know, these competitions, you either win or you don't. So you own it or you lose. Those won't have killed it, but yeah.
Carverton Shredathon.
Oh, man, who made this? Come on, man. I need some tackling.
Hey, man, you need a hand?
Oh, no, dude. It's all good. What? Django? No way, it's you. I heard you guys were starting up a company. Yeah. Me too. Cuzco Enterprises. I even got real posters for the Bowl Series this year. Check it out. No! What are you doing? Ah, dude, those cost money.
Wow.
That was actually funny. That was
The
actually
look on
funny.
his face, he's just like,
Yeah.
eat my
that was a
asshole.
very good look you just gave, Bob.
Yeah. No, I was trying to think of a way to word the look.
Oh, I thought you were giving the look and like, you know, we could see it because we're all here in the same room.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in me imitating his face. He had his own face. You saw it.
Oh.
There's no point in me retranslating it to the same medium.
Yeah.
That's the problem with you trying to make the face.
That's the only
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because you can see me right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Connor, can you scoot over a little bit? I don't
Why
like how
even
you're, like, bumping
why
up against
even
me.
try to make a face when there are 7 billion faces already out there?
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That shit's deep.
Yeah.
That's so deep. Wow.
You guys want to hear an actually deep thought that
Sure.
I would love to hear an actually
so you
deep
know
thought
how,
Skate
like-
Let's Play.
for speakers or for creatures like giant monsters, the bigger it is, the louder it is. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So imagine like a small animal, you know, like a mouse or something. If we yell near a mouse, it must be deafeningly loud to them.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Okay, so like 2 blocks away, you know, someone yells from 2 blocks away, you could maybe hear that. Another human, but it's kind of quiet. Like, Godzilla roars from 2 blocks away, you go deaf. a cat
Yeah.
hisses from 2 blocks away, you don't hear it. You know, so that kind of thing.
Right.
We never think about how loud we must be to small creatures that, you know, could hear or whatever if
Yeah.
they're close by.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and it's also like, I don't know. People sometimes like think like I'm not abusing my animal, I'm not abusing my pet, but I'll yell at him, and it's like you really gotta take it easy with that. Like even gently, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah,
like I
like
don't,
it is actually probably so much louder to them than it would be to someone, you know, a human standing next to them.
right, and also much scarier because they don't know what you're saying.
Right.
I
Most
don't know
of
what
them
I'm
they don't
saying.
even
Yeah,
know why you're
that was
yelling.
my shower thought.
Yeah.
I actually had a shower thought about this game.
Oh really?
Yeah,
What's your shower
about
thought
Skate
about this
3
game?
and
How they should have put showering in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Metal Gear
Like
Solid
in Metal
5.
Gear Solid 5. Yeah.
Everyone would just be, hey, Shingo would be like, hey, dude, you stink. Do you think you could take a shower?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so like in Skate 3, you like the entire series has a continuity, and starting with Skate 3, you are known. Like your default name in this game is The Legend. Thank you for pausing,
Right.
by the way, for me to let me gather my thoughts. You already are legendary. Everyone knows who you are. And I've also noticed that like there's no AI non-professional skaters. Like, you don't do any, like, you don't see them riding out in the world.
yeah.
Every skater you see riding out in the world is a pro skater or the people in your friends list if you're, you know, one of the kind
You
of people
importing
who,
them, yeah.
Yeah, if you, the kind of person who has friends. And also in contests, you're only going up against other pros, whereas before you sort of had to, like, earn that. Like, you'd go against, you know, Snotface and Snodgrass and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like, and so, like, you're in Port Carverton and, like, maybe it's just, like, I don't know, you're just too big for the little guys anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
Or maybe
yeah.
Or maybe you're dead, and this has all been part of my.
Are these all these skaters are dead too? Is that what
Yeah.
you're
No,
saying?
no. In heaven, you only meet the people you want to meet.
I don't
Yeah.
want to meet TK though.
So I guess you just don't want to meet Sammy
Okay,
or
but
Mike
you're not
anymore.
exactly your character. Your character wants to
He's
meet
an
these
avatar.
people.
Okay, I
Right.
see.
Yeah.
But you know,
Right?
I didn't realize that. Yeah, immediately from the start, all the contest servers pros. Like,
Yeah.
you don't go against Mike or Sammy. You know,
Yeah, like, you're too big for them now. You
some
don't
of them
hang
came
out with
over.
them anymore.
You know, like you do see some of those models. I think maybe, but
No, not.
no.
Oh, you mean like in the Create a Skater? Like,
I was-
out there in the world, you don't see them. Like, it's just pros and whoever's in your friends list.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, they're just gone. Oh shit, we got dinged. What do we get dinged for?
I just got off the phone with my realtor, Jetta Babina, and we got a brand new...
If that's a joke or a reference, I don't know it.
Me neither, but it sounds
Check it
funny.
out, set it up however you want, and let me know how fly it is. Alright?
Fly.
I do like that Retta's still here, at least, you know, as a voice in your ear that shows up here so often.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice kind of seeing that continuity. Like I said, again, seeing Atiba and Mike Burnett, and, you know, it's like, oh, hey, guys, you're here too. You know, you weren't
Yeah.
just like a one and done thing. You know, nice
Yeah.
that they had to keep that.
Atiba's
a
got
little
the
bit.
Animal Collective shirt, you know.
Why are everything skate dot whatever? I thought that's such a weird way
Because
to
the
style.
internet-
Brand cross-marketing promotion.
Because also it's focusing, because that was the original skate marketing with Skate 1, and also now everything's all online, so it's like, you know, like a web page thing, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's like an
a
internet.
web page thing. I was like, is that or are we accessing Skate's variables?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
one of the
colored
tips
brain.
is, you know, hey, go online to EA.
Skate.ea.com.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Which
that
I
makes more sense.
did, and it's, you know,
Dead.
not got a million things on it, but it is announcing that Skate 4 is coming.
Yep,
That's cool that they
I
still have the
remember
domain, I
trying that back in 2015 once I did get Xbox Live, you know, 5 years after this game came out, and it was dead. It
And
just,
it's okay, I'm playing it 12 years after the game came out.
yeah. So, I mean, hey,
crazy.
you know.
Yeah.
This just reminds me that like most of the Battlefield 1 stuff doesn't work anymore.
Battlefield 1 stuff doesn't work anymore?
Like
a
the
lot of it
one
doesn't work.
released
Man.
like last decade or
2016.
No.
game.
oh the 2016 game.
Yeah, Battlefield 1.
Turo,
you
you're
gotta
thinking of Star
admit,
Wars
that's
Battlefront.
You gotta
I'm-
admit,
no,
that's an incredibly confusing title.
Okay,
It is.
well,
No, I
guess-
was asking because I know Battlefield 1 is the World War 1 game, and also
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was just asking if you were talking about the original Battlefield
No,
game.
I was talking about the World War 1 game. Like the one that wasn't even released that long ago. A lot of
Yeah,
the
like-
stuff on its
well,
website
that's-
does
that's
not work
ridiculous.
anymore.
a little over half a decade ago.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
What?
2015.
I guess that was 6 years ago. Okay, never mind. I always
That's
think of
still
that as the
not that
last
long
release.
ago.
Yeah. I mean,
I keep
Battlefield
forgetting
4
that
is
they
still
made two
around.
other games after it. I'm sorry.
Oh shit, you did a Miracle Whip.
Yeah. So, Miracle Whip is one of the brands that, you know, as promotion of this
It's a
game or whatever,
party in
gave
your
money
mouth that
toward it.
everyone's invited.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Do you remember those fucking trailers for Miracle Whip?
I don't
Those
actually, but,
commercials on TV.
So doing a super dude front flip or back flip is called a Miracle Whip in the game.
And you get an achievement for it. I wonder how
Yeah.
much they had to pay extra for that.
First time you do it.
Miracle Whip was trying so fucking hard to be hip and cool, and it
It's
was
so weird.
dumb.
Like the two major sponsors of this game, I mean, aside from all the skateboard brand sponsors, are Miracle Whip and Dr. Pepper.
God, it's so weird, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Like, wow, what a throwback. That's like seeing eBay, you know, promotion back in Downhill Domination. Like
Like with
some
the
of that.
old
Oh
logo.
my god, you know, what a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miracle Whip over here being hip and cool with their party in their
Yeah.
mouth.
Does
Advertising
Miracle Whip even
campaign.
still exist? I genuinely don't
Yeah,
know.
probably.
I think I've seen it. Yeah. Although it's definitely not in skate games anymore, I imagine.
Yeah.
In any video game anymore. Dude, imagine booting up Last of Us, sponsored by Miracle Whip.
Can I ask a question about Miracle Whip?
You may. I permit you to do so.
What about it is a miracle?
The Whip.
That it exists.
No, I mean like
That there's still a
Whipped-
company that makes money.
no.
allegedly.
I want a serious answer here. Whipped cream existed before Miracle Whip. What was the miracle when they named the product? Because I
Making
assume it was
sa-
like it made something more convenient, right?
The
That's
taste. The taste is a miracle.
the taste is the miracle.
Maybe?
I haven't actually ever had Miracle Whip, so
I thought
It's like
Miracle Whip was
mayo,
mayonnaise
right?
at
It's like
first.
mayo,
Yeah, it's
but
mayo.
not made with whatever you make mayo with,
Wait,
right?
what is? I thought
yeah,
it was.
yeah, it's,
mayo.
it's
no,
a
I'm
mayo.
thinking of cool. No, you know what? I'm
You're thinking of
Cool
Cool.
Whip,
Yeah, you're thinking of Cool Whip.
Yeah.
which Cool Whip I kind of understand the naming process. Okay, now I'm even more confused. What was the miracle about Miracle Whip?
It was like
mayo
mayonnaise that
also
came in-
already existed.
Well, I mean, but it was like, it was in a convenient package.
Yeah. Like you
so
squeeze
was
it.
mayo.
I don't.
Yeah, but,
I don't know.
well...
How long would you last on a diet of only Miracle Whip, Cool Whip, and Cheese Whiz?
I don't think I would. I think I
Die.
would just die.
Yeah, you know, if you take all three of those, like
Yeah.
one after the other, you go straight into your grave. It just kills you instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
You
life
go straight
hack
to your
for
grave
you.
and then you wake up in Port Carverton.
Oh, and now you know the rest of the story.
So
I
is
don't
that
know.
why
I know
Miracle
I-
Whip-
I know
Is
I
that why
bagged-
Miracle Whip is sponsored here? Like, this is my
Sure.
life
I
flashing
know
before my
I know I
eyes.
bagged on, oh, your character's now dead and in heaven as a, you know, that's a stupid cheesy thing. But if we want to roll with it for jokes, sure, I'll roll with it.
Yes.
You're the one who's making the joke.
For the bit. Gotta commit to the bit.
Right. Right.
Series long bit.
Yo, I just looked up Miracle Whip on Wikipedia, and apparently it premiered at the World's Fair in Chicago.
That's wild.
Holy crap, like back in 1908?
In 1933, the World's Fair,
Oh my
the
God.
Century of Progress World's Fair in Chicago.
Oh my god. It really was a century of
Miracle
progress.
Whip.
Yeah, I guess.
I gotta look this up.
So, like, wasn't that the one where
Wow, it's
the guy
old.
murdered all those people?
This is the strangest way to make effective advertising. It didn't get you to buy the product,
Wait
but
a
it got
minute.
you to look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Dude, listen to the advertising campaigns they ran.
Oh god.
We're really doing a
Cheap
Miracle Whip
Nicole,
episode
Don't be
today.
so
huh?
mayo in Skate 3. Kraft paid Lady Gaga to include Miracle Whip in the music video for her song Telephone.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, it was the
Television
80s
adverts
that was the
describe
93
Miracle Whip
World's
as
Fair.
an alternative to real boring mayonnaise.
Yeah, no, that's like like, I can picture the billboard in this game that's along the highway that says Mayo is for inline skaters.
Dude, in 2018, the town of Mayo, Florida temporarily changed its name to Miracle Whip as a
They're
promotion.
still going. They're still trying. God bless them.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah, well-
They must just have no product to actually sell.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Miracle Whip is basically just mayo plus some salad dressing and a little bit of extra spices. It's named after the machine that's used to make it, because the machine was named Miracle Whip by the inventor because he wanted to name it that.
Okay.
Okay? That's what I just gleaned from the internet, from Wikipedia. Maybe that's wrong. But what's crazy to me is, if Miracle Whip was really so great, there would be competitors.
Why aren't there?
Yeah.
There's just Mayo, and then Miracle Whip, and that should tell you something about how much people really want Miracle Whip. It hasn't created a whole new market of, it's not Mayo, it's something else. It just hasn't.
Well, don't be so Mayo, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be so Mayo.
You sound
What
like
does
you
that
sound like
mean?
you sound like Bob. You sound like a Mayo lover out there. Okay, you a Mayo lover, Bob?
We'll see more of the stuff as we go further into the game. So here, right at the end of the second episode, I wanted to show off some things again. One, the object dropper of, you could just put an object into the world wherever you want. But then, I also wanted to show off a glitch. You saw in Skate 2 that I liked doing the launch glitches and such. And so being able to spawn whatever you want into wherever you want has, did lead to a couple glitches. And one of the most well-known is the ramp launch glitch.
Yes.
So you spawn one of these ramps, turn it upside down, and then basically you'll interact with it in such a way that it gives you crazy speed and sends you flying.
I'm so excited.
We'll get to that after I spend way too
Place
long
it.
trying to set this thing up right. You could put down a good amount of stuff, actually, because the game deloads an area pretty quickly once you get away from it. So, putting down like one ramp here isn't going to overload the game to where you can't do anything in another district. But yeah, so basically, get off your board, throw your board away, and then run at it and hold a specific
Holy shit,
buttons.
I never knew about this.
I don't want to do full tutorials, but basically hold A and RB when you run at a ramp, and then like right before you hit it, hit Y to call
It's
your board
really
back.
simple.
Right.
Yeah, didn't Helix Snake do like a full tutorial of all the major ones?
Oh, God,
so
yeah,
you
he's
can
got
look up
tutorials for
tutorials
everything.
and such. But yeah, so basically it's something about like calling your board back to you right when you hit this thing, and like that amount of speed transfers over to you, and so it's a fun little glitch.
It's desperately trying to put the board in a place that's already occupied by the ramp, and it just has nothing to do except give you more speed. It has nothing to do except give the board like more speed, and then, you're on the board now.
Yeah.
And actually, the board goes through multiple dimensions.
So that's another thing I want to point out, that again, people call this game like the glitchy one, or that it got a lot of popularity from people abusing the glitches or whatever. It's not like games nowadays where, the glitches come to you and get in your way when you're just trying to play normally. You do have to go out of your way to really get a bunch of glitches. In my first playthrough, when I just wanted to play the game, before learning a lot of those glitches or whatever, I had a very normal playthrough that wasn't glitchy, like, at all. But, I mean, the glitches being in this game has obviously elevated it, because of the things you could do with it. It's like super bouncing in Halo 2. Again, the only other series I played. Where it's like, because you could do these things that give you a ton of speed, or send you flying, or pop you through floors and ceilings. Again, people who want to do fun and funny stuff with that are able to. But again, it's not going to happen to you when you don't want it to. Again, it's not like, I don't know, Cyberpunk or any of the other games released nowadays where it's like unplayable when you're just trying to play it normally. I don't think Skate 3 is made any worse by it having easier glitches than the previous games or so.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we've gotten through kind of the beginning of the game, and now we can start seeing other areas. So next time we'll go to the industrial area and see some things there.